But what, for me, in order to be to be successful at it or compete at it, and to kind of get the benefits of it, I always had to go into my head and find visualizing playing in a game. I'm pushing myself because I want to be able to guard at this point in the game. I want to be able to get to this spot, make this shot, and I'm pulling myself into all the other places in your brain so that you kind of lose, again, what you're physically doing is there and you're aware, but you're focused on other stuff. And if you talk about all the successful runners and bikers, long distance people, they have an insane mental fortitude and capacity to go to a place where, yes, you're paying attention to your rate, your pace, all the things that are involved with how well you're performing, but they are in another place mentally, and they're gone. And it's such a powerful, most of those people are intensely successful.
Agreed.
People in general.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's just, I have to, when I was younger and I would go out and I used to try to be long distance, and I had to trick myself into, like you're saying, chasing a ball or whatever the case is. I used to say, oh, the race is to that telephone pole, and you'd pick something out and you'd be like, yay, and I've made it. And then you have to pick the next telephone pole. And the next, because I had to trick myself that way too, but just incredible. There's a guy online that if you ever want to go to YouTube and really, he's just got this amazing way of talking about motivation and success, and it's called Your World Within. I don't know if you've ever found it. I think his name is Eddie Perino or Perina. Your World Within, and he talks about, he's a runner, and he talks about, as he's running, the things that he's thinking about and success and motivation, and it's just it's almost Zen-like when you're listening to him. You're going, and you can almost visualize how he does his runs, and it's really good.
Interesting.
So what on the other part, because I think the creating the categories the way that he did and helping people understand it is part of the power.
It's an acronym, SAVERS. It's SAVERS. So if you're following along, just write that down. That'll help you remember. SAVERS. So silence, we talked about. Affirmations, we talked about. Visualization, which we haven't. Really powerful in his presentation, because a lot of what you accomplish is 90% your subconscious mind. So if that really is true, you really need to feed your mind what you want, if that makes sense. So like your goals in front of you or visualization of where you're going for the year would be like key in 2026. So I want this in 2020, and you put it in front of you every day, and your mind subconsciously works to attain what's in front of you visually. Like, so powerful.
That not just subconsciously problem solving for the ways that you can chase that, right? Because it's staying, but also visualizing how you're going to execute it becomes like, that's the other part that I need to go get this done today. If you can picture yourself and visualize yourself doing that, when you get there, it's comfortable. And I use that as an athlete, and any successful athlete. Like we were just talking about Barry Bonds and Gary Sheffield and all these guys, right? That pitch that's come, they've already visualized it 1,000 times, a million times in their head. Like nothing about it is unfamiliar because you've already experienced it, which to be successful, when you're in the moment of executing, if it feels like you've been there 10,000 times already, you're going to respond that way versus, okay, I'm in it and I don't know how to do it or how am I going to react. So not only goals and inspiration, but also just comfort with being in that environment. And I know a lot of people who don't understand the importance of, all right, I'm going to an event. And you're great. You're social connector galore, right? You know, before you go into an event, you visualize, like, how are you going to engage? How are you going to react to people? How are you going to approach? Versus take somebody who's uncomfortable in social situations. They haven't really created a comfort level and visualization of like, how do I come off? How do I react? How do I interact? I know that's a kind of a somewhat sidebar, but that's like the kind of thing that visualization sometimes gets pigeonholed into. I want to make $1 million. I want to visualize that, but there's no specifics of like executing that come out of it.
Well, studies will show that visualization, when your mind, take a dream, for instance, it's real to you. Even when you wake up, your body is reacting to a dream that wasn't real. So the things that you visualize are almost as though they've already happened to you. And so you see
Very
it
true.
in you see it in athletics all the time. Take a springboard. They're up on the 3-meter tower. You see them walk out to the edge, and you can visually see them going through what they're getting ready to do. They're visualizing it.
Absolutely.
There's a really cool video of the Blue Angels, and I don't know if you've ever seen it. And it got music over it, and it shows them, the saluting and all this kind of stuff. But it shows these guys sitting in the room. They've got their flight suit on, and it's before they walk out to go get in the plane. And you can see them doing the moves that they're going to do, and they're actually moving their hands, and they're leaning their body, and they're already visualizing everything that they're going to do in that plane. And so every walk of life, everything that you do, visualization is so powerful, because if you can see it, you can do it. If you can see yourself there, there's a way for you to get there. It's just a fact.
Well, confidence comes from it too.